Whether you're looking for manufactured or natural stone to accent or update your exterior or interior project of any size, Centurion Stone of Iowa offers a variety of styles, patterns, and colors for every need. Centurion Stone, our own manufactured stone product, has the look and feel of natural stone and is available in over 200 color and pattern combinations. We also provide natural stone for interior and exterior projects. Our Des Moines and Omaha locations are open daily. Browse our wide variety of product samples with our helpful staff. They'll answer any questions that you have. Check us out on the web at centurionstoneofiowa.com.
Hey guys, welcome to POSTGAME podcast reaction here on Cyclone Fanatic. It was Iowa 20-13. I'm sure you all watched. My biggest takeaway right now, and there's going to be a lot more to dig into. I think some questions really got to be asked about the clock management at the end of that game. There's so many bigger issues that come to this one, but man, kind of felt like, Iowa State had a chance to do something there, and they did get the ball back. Man, then you're in a major clock problem, no timeouts. Young coordinator, never been in the spot like that. Young quarterback, there's a lot of excuses for it, but it's unacceptable at this level to have a clock situation like that. At the end of the day, this is a weird game. You look at a box score where Iowa State had 19 first downs to 9 by Iowa. What did we say going into this one that Iowa State had to do to win the football game? Couldn't make the big mistake. They did. Pick six. That's the difference in the game. And you got to be good on special teams. And they weren't bad. Blocked field goal really changed the entire – I felt like it's a game, really. Iowa State had a really good opening drive, some confidence with that offense. And then you go out there and you could have been up 3-0, which I think most people would have taken in a low-scoring game. You lose on that field goal, and, man, you're behind the eight ball. Really question Iowa State's defensive game plan early. I thought that they would come out and, swing a little harder at a potentially, dinged up Cade McNamara, and it took them about a quarter to settle in there. But yeah, I just really kind of a boring Cyhawk game, and that doesn't happen very often in these games. They usually get kind of crazy, and that's why you thought maybe at the end there this thing might be turning. But Iowa State came up short, obviously, in this one. Let's look at some of the stats here. Again, Iowa State outgained them, the amount of plays, 75-51. So Iowa State ran 30 more plays than it did in its opener against Northern Iowa. Rocco Beck was 23 of 44. A lot of conversation could be had about the quarterback, but I think this is more of an offensive issue. And I also think that Iowa is just a pretty good defensive team, right? We all know that. I mean, this didn't scream to me like put in J.J. Cole. That felt like a real desperate type of move that I just don't know if your true freshman quarterback was ready for that. We all watched him play last week, right? He wasn't ready. And I actually really agree with Matt Campbell to not make that move. Frustrating that Iowa State couldn't run the football, right? That was I'm going to pull that up right here. Really, really struggled to run the football. And then all the drops. Right, that has to be talked about. 2.8 yards per rush for Iowa State. That's the stat of the game right there in my mind. That's an automatic loss. Give me one pick six in a 2.8 yards per carry, you're not winning against Iowa, period. I'd love to see the number of drops too. It says 4, but there were more. That's kind of a subjective statistic. I would say it's closer to 8 from my unofficial calculation here. But yeah, the defense was lights out once they, locked in there. And you spot Iowa 7 with a pick 6. Really the worst defensive drive I thought of the entire game. There's the 59-yard run. It was that drive in the third quarter where Iowa burned 7 minutes off the clock. And it was really kind of a statement drive, I thought, by the Hawkeyes. And you get sucked into it. When you get down 3 scores to this Iowa program, that's exactly, they will just put that little anaconda on you and it is all over. And unfortunately, Iowa State got stuck in that today. Listen, where do you go from here? I mean, there's a very winnable game, obviously, next week at Ohio. Iowa State will be a heavy favorite in that one, and then you get Oklahoma State the following week here to kick off the Big 12 season. I still think, I guess my opinions really haven't changed that much on Iowa State, where I think their defense will have them in every game. Encouraging thing is it looks like you have a kicker, right? So that's a positive thing going into this, where I just think there's going to be a lot of games like this that are one score and you got to make a play, and hopefully the offense can keep getting better. But today looked a lot like last year's Iowa State offense, right? Really, really did. And that clock management at the end just kind of blew my mind. It's like everybody's sitting there telling them to hurry up, and you're still snapping it with 5 seconds left. And it's just a maddening thing to sit there and watch, because you knew if Iowa got the ball back, you get it you knew they would get a stop. The defense did. Everybody in the place knew that they would get a stop. At least I did. And they did. But then you get the ball back, rookie quarterback, and you're expecting him to go against that D when they know he's going to throw with no timeouts with like 1:30 left. That's a really hard spot to put that kid in. I don't know what the play call was like with the handoff to Cartevious Norton on 4th down. That was bizarre, but whatever. Couple other notes. It was good to see Higgins. Let's go more on a positive note here. Really good to see Higgins get in the end zone there at the end. I think he's the best receiver on the team. Noel had a tough day. He had a really tough day. The run game was just not really there. Clearly now, Cartevious Norton and Abu Sama are 1 and 2. Eli Sanders didn't get a carry today. So that's really interesting to me. That's clearly where they are going there. Let's go with some of the notes here that you guys have in my post-game reaction. Some of you are listening to the podcast here. My man English says, anyone who catches the ball should do nothing but catch balls in practice this week. Taylor agrees with me. I think Higgins has a lot of potential to be the guy. Oh, okay. Elton tells me Sanders was in street clothes. I had missed that, so thank you very much for that. I appreciate that. I had missed that in pregame. I kept looking for him. That makes sense why I didn't see him now. Ty, this game should have been very different. Lots to improve on. Lots to be optimistic on as well. Yeah, I'm not season's not over for me. It is. It's what I thought you could get from Iowa State this year. Average to bad offense, hopefully improved special teams, and a really good defense. Today, special teams fell a little bit short. Weren't bad, but they fell a little bit short with that block the field goal. And the offense made the one big mistake it couldn't make. Yeah. I don't know what else to say. So there you have it. Bloom and I will be in tomorrow night. Full analysis from everything. And then Rob and Connor and Jacqueline are all at postgame right now. And they'll have all sorts of reaction for you. Thanks so much, guys. We appreciate you all. Carl Auto Group, Centurion Stone of Iowa, bringing you our postgame podcast here on Cyclone Fanatic and the Cyclone Fanatic Podcast Network. Thanks, guys. We'll be back tomorrow. Later.